everybody, it's your boy HP Maharaja. I always mess it up when I'm carrying crap, but anyways, we out here in Newport Beach. You see these cool houses in the back here, and they face this beautiful harbor here with all these boats. And you know, if you're lucky enough, you'll get your own boat like this with an anchor and whatnot. That's a huge boat. I mean, it may seem small from here, but when you get on it, it's a pretty decent sized boat. So yeah, so I'm just out here. I've just finished up work. I found parking today really far. That's why I'm walking, you know, all this way. I haven't even been to this part of the harbor, but it's very interesting. It's cool though. Yeah, so today just finished up work, and the sunset is nice here. Well, it isn't nice here. No, it's actually pretty cold by the harbor and stuff because of the wind and stuff. So it smells weird. That's a bit different. But yeah, and then they're doing a lot of construction here, which you know, they're constructing this too. Looks pretty dope inside too. Bet these houses are like, who knows, like $2 to $3 million each. It's expensive. But yeah, so I think I'll continue this video after I get closer. But yeah, just wanted to show you the view with the boats. I'm back. I'm in the car. UC Irvine Computer Science. Let's go. John Wayne Airport here on to the right. Some good stuff there. Planes flying. Obviously, if you saw my airline airport video, you would understand why I'm so passionate about airplanes and crap like that. But nonetheless, the day of work over. You saw that crazy good view of some of the boats and the harbor from a different angle, because I don't usually walk through there. My car was parked further. But yeah, so now I'm heading to UCI. I'm gonna hit up Chipotle. It's a good option, I think. I didn't make anything at home, or I didn't have anything planned to make at home, so that's why I'm sort of, you know, just going through the motions. That's why I'm eating out today, really. I shouldn't be eating out. I always tell myself, like, the more I eat out, it's the lazier I get, really, because I could be cooking at home. So nonetheless, that's that. I want to talk about something. I know I mentioned a topic yesterday night, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about money and debt. Okay, and in particular with debt, I want to talk about paying back your debt on a very small scale. Okay, so let me just rewind and get you back up to speed on what I mean here. So basically, your friend pays for something for you, whatever it happens to be, you know, jet skis, food, basketball tickets, whatever. Like, they're just like, yeah, I mean, you know what, I'll pay you, pay me back later. It is common courtesy, and it's outright mandatory for you to pay that money back as soon as you get a chance. I mean, I get it, like a week is fine. Like a few days, a week is fine. Maybe 2 weeks might be fine, depending on your relationship with that friend. But beyond that point, especially if you're not in connection with that friend on a regular basis, beyond that point, it becomes sort of a leech play. And by leech play, I mean, you know, you just completely forgot about paying your friend. And like, you have to be considerate that people need their money. Like, they work hard for their money. They need their money, whatever they've earned, and especially if they're doing you a favor in a manner that, like, they're pitching in to buy you something now so that you don't have to pay at the moment, and then you just pay them back later. Especially in that scenario, it becomes very important for you to make sure that you're paying back your debt to those friends or people who are, you know, paying the money forward, because they've worked hard for it and they respect it, and so should you. You should respect other people's money, and that's not just going for just a personal point of view, but even from a business perspective. If you're not going to respect money, you're not going to respect other people's money and finances that they've worked hard to build, the businesses that they've worked hard to build, then ultimately money's not going to respect you, and it's not going to hang around for a long time. As you know, so don't make that dumb sort of douche play where, you know, oh, I completely forgot, like I didn't have, you know, I forgot to pay you. Like, in my books, that's actually kind of ridiculous. That you should innately, like, now that I think about it more, you should innately feel that you're being weighed down by the debt you owe, right? Like, having a mortgage on a house is no problem because you're paying it off on a monthly, right? And that's something that's weighing you down mentally. But taking a favor should also be weighing you down in some sort of psychological sense. And the only way you can get that weight off your shoulders is to pay back that favor. And in the Indian culture, it makes a lot more sense because we're very, like, you know, in religion, really, like, from a religious standpoint, you do not want to be in debt to anybody. You know, and you know, karma never forgets, and that's one thing that, you know, if you're gonna forget somebody's money today, tomorrow somebody's gonna forget your money, and it might be at a moment when you need the money the most, and so that's sort of the thing here, that you need to focus on. You need to be courteous, and you need to eye these sort of financial favors as a burden, right? It's a burden when someone favors you by paying for your X, Y, and Z, and you should pay it back at the best convenience, and as soon as possible, really. So that's something I really wanted to talk about today, and it's a topic that recently just came up amongst one of my friends, and I mean, yeah, you know, I can excuse it, it's fine, but it's something to learn from, and something to just be aware about, and something to put on your psychological sense to make count as a psychological burden, because living a debt-free life is much more, you'll be much happier living a debt-free life than living a life full of lies and debts, and, you know, avoidances to pay your bills, right? Just doesn't work. And just going off on a tangent a little bit from that point, when you have so much debt, like, people earn, let's say, you know, $50,000, $60,000 a year, you can afford probably a $300,000, $400,000 home, $500,000 home. But people out there try to, like, overreach, you know, what they're capable of. And that's sort of, you know, that's sort of the realm where they're buying homes that are worth $1.5 to $2 million when they really know they can't afford it. And so it's very, you know, it's very important that you stay within your limits, and, you know, you're not carrying such huge burden, a $2 million burden, when you know you evidently just barely make it through on a, you know, weekly basis. You'd be much happier if you bought a home that was $500,000 and you can afford, and you can, you know, have money left over every month to apply in different places and donate and whatnot, right? Because you're a righteous person, right? I hope. Nonetheless, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of it. Basically, view favors as burdens, and make sure when you have a burden, you relieve that burden off your shoulders and pay anybody with any favor back as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos, and, you know, that's a burden for me. Like, if you guys are watching this video, that puts me on the stage to make more videos. So I'm making these videos, I'm gonna keep doing them, and it's like, if nobody watches it, I'm fine with that. I'm documenting my life from the beginning to whenever I can, and I'll look back at these videos maybe someday, and maybe it won't affect somebody today, but maybe it'll affect somebody 10 years down the line, and that's it, man. If it affects one person and helps somebody out, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Take care, and make sure always pay off your debts. As the, you know, Game of Thrones quote goes, a Lannister always pays off his debts. So always pay off your debts. It's a very important quality to have in your personality tool belt. Anyways, peace and love. HP Maharaja signing out. Jai Ho, everybody. Have a great Monday.